If you ask me what my favorite friendly alien movie is, I'm always going to say E.T. But when it comes to terror and chaos, and the feeling that humanity is not safe, then Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds takes the cake for the best alien movie ever.
A soliloquy for every movie, from Casablanca to Tommy Boy. He's here, it's him, it's Andrew Toy. It's Andrew Toy.
What makes War of the Worlds so effective for me is that Steven Spielberg doesn't treat this movie as like a joke that the aliens are playing on us. He doesn't treat the alien invasion like it's some cool special effects fireworks show. He actually combines disaster movie with horror. And it just happens to turn out that the aliens are behind this massacre. Both of my kids don't get scared of anything. I just showed this movie to my 11-year-old son a couple of weeks back. It is intense. The part where like the dead bodies are floating down the river. I turned to him, I said, "Hey man, are you okay? Do I need to turn this off? Is this too scary?" His eyes are glued on the screen. He just goes, "Yeah, it's scary, but it's so awesome." I was like, all right, like the tripods emerging from underground. That whole scene just grips me with like anxiety. As far as tension goes, it's almost up there with Spielberg's T-Rex scene. No, nothing really comes close to the T-Rex scene. But still, everything in this movie is really intense. Like the sound design alone feels apocalyptic. The horn blasts coming from the machines, they don't just sound intimidating. They give off this feeling of hopelessness. No one is going to be safe in this entire movie. Except for Tom Cruise, of course. But I think that Tom Cruise gives one of his most grounded performances of his career. He's not playing a superhero spy. He's not out to save the world. He's just a pretty bad father who's just trying to keep his kids alive while the whole world is collapsing around them. And that's kind of how the book is, by H.G. Wells. The protagonist in The War of the Worlds has no name. He's a nameless man, and it's done for a reason, I believe, because we're supposed to be reading about this alien invasion as though we are the character, as though we are the ones experiencing this absolute terror. Spielberg did a really good job translating that language into Tom Cruise's character, where he's really just the everyman. He's flawed. He's got a short temper. He doesn't quite know how to father his children. He's just trying to figure it out as he goes, but he still deeply loves them. He just doesn't know how to show it. And I think that represents a lot of us as parents. There's this one scene where his oldest son, Robbie, he accuses Tom Cruise of just wanting to drop his kids off so he could go off and save his own ass.
You only chose Boston because you hope Mom's there, and if she's there, you can dump us on her. And then you only have to care about yourself, which is exactly the way you like it.
From that point on, they had to figure out, well, how are we going to help each other stay alive in this, since we're not going to be on our own? And then later on, when Robbie does try to go off on his own to help the army fight against these aliens, Tom Cruise is absolutely devastated. Like, please don't leave. Like, you cannot do this. The tables turn in this movie relationally, and it's pretty well done. And the fear in this movie feels so real because the characters all feel intentionally small and helpless. One criticism people always bring up in this movie is the ending. Some say it's anticlimactic, like what, the bacteria killed the aliens? Well, what the hell else did you expect for an ending of a movie of this caliber? Virtually, from 15 minutes into the movie, it is a climax. The whole thing is like the greatest climax to an alien movie you can ask for. So I think you can cut a little slack when at the last 3 minutes of the movie are about the bacteria. That's what H.G. Wells' point was, proving like the infinite knowledge of God from time before, where he placed this weapon of the bacteria there in order to defeat the aliens that he knew was going to come. Like in the movie, mankind feels so helpless because these machines have been buried underground for years and years and years, probably generations. But God is like bigger and smarter than that, so he went even further back in time and planted the bacteria, which was going to end up killing the aliens and helping us live and evolve through time. And it's true, with the whole film being a climax, like from the very moment the tripods start coming out of the ground, you really don't get a moment to breathe. It is just go time from there. It's virtually 2 straight hours of panic, pandemonium, destruction, paranoia, and survival. Every set piece escalates the tension. Every scene feels like it is actually the end of the world as we know it. So going back to the people that complain about the ending, like how are you supposed to top that? Enjoy the movie. Like in so many cases, The movie is pretty good at the beginning, it's really good at the end, but the whole middle is just a mess. This is like the exact opposite, where the whole middle is the best part of the movie, and that is so rare to find. And to be bold enough to declare that these aliens can only be defeated by God, not by human strength or military power, but by divine intervention, that's pretty bold. And that's what ultimately makes this movie so memorable, is that it's not Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones dressing up in suits and blowing big guns, or Jack Nicholson joking around with the little men from Mars. This movie goes a totally different direction and says that humanity survives not because we're unstoppable, or we have a couple of really cool looking celebrities in our midst and they're going to step in and blow these aliens' heads off, but it goes out of its way to show that we humans are not ultimately in control. You've all heard Proverbs 16:18. Its pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before the fall. We have so much pride, especially in America. We think it's just America first. And, we just think we are all that. We're not, though. We still have homeless people on the streets. We still have kids getting abducted, being thrown into sex trafficking rings. We have so much corruption. We have the means and the funds to help people get back up on their feet, and we don't. No other country is any better. I'm not saying we're better than them, but no country has it all figured out. Yet we think that we are so in control of our governments, of our nations. I'm going to go and vote for the right person. But the aliens in War of the Worlds, they arrive with so much confidence. They think that their plan is completely foolproof. And it is. It is a foolproof plan to destroy humanity and use our blood as fertilizer.
This is an extermination.
They view humanity as powerless insects, and they're not wrong. Their technology alone is overwhelming, and their power is unstoppable. But despite all their might, they're defeated by the smallest things that anybody would have overlooked. That verse from Proverbs becomes a reminder that no matter how powerful someone is or thinks they are, Trump, sorry, did I do that wrong? Arrogance can blind them to their own vulnerability. And I think that's one reason the ending works so well. It's humbling. Humanity doesn't conquer the invaders through dominance. Survival comes through as something beyond human control. Now, on another note, the government has been talking an awful lot about aliens and how they're out there, we're not alone. Start doing your own research. Start second-guessing everything you see on TV. With the advancement of AI, things are going to get a lot more confusing. So back to the movie. The visuals are incredible. From 2005, it still looks great. It still looks better than like a downgraded Marvel movie. Like, it's still so much better than most of the special effects we get today. Not once did I think, oh, that looks fake. Or, oh, they're on a green screen or whatever. Like, even my kids, keep picking things out that look fake, but not War of the Worlds. There's nothing you can look at and say, oh, that's fake. And it's Spielberg. He creates images that stick in your mind forever. The burning train, the ash-covered survivors, the river floating with bodies. And the one my son always talks about is the red alien vegetation that's growing on the entire Earth. Oh, it's nasty. It's so cool. It feels less like a sci-fi adventure and more like a nightmare unfolding in real time. And all those reasons and more are why War of the Worlds is still one of the best alien invasion movies ever. And it's going to be interesting to see how Disclosure Day holds up. I'm going to withhold judgment, but the trailer alone tells me this is going to be shining scary, like that scary. Because I think, especially in times like today, we should be reminded of how fragile we really are. What's your favorite alien invasion movie? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and don't forget to like this video only if you actually liked it, and remember to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.